Hey guys, Eric Hammond here at the Orange Stack. Thanks for joining us every single week as we go live on Facebook here for Facebook Friday, where we teach you guys how to grow your business in the real estate industry. So this week I had the opportunity to be here in Nashville, Tennessee, and if you've been at this event, you understand how incredible it is. This is Funnel Hacking Live 2019, and I wanted to share my thoughts with you today on some of the things I've learned these last few days here. It's just been an incredible marketing event, has some fantastic speakers, Anyway, incredible. I've never been here before, but if you've ever been to Nashville or ClickFunnels, you're going to enjoy this. So anyway, I just want to kind of give my recap this week of what I learned and how it probably applies to what you're doing in your business. And we're going to go a lot deeper on these things as the weeks and months progress and we come up with more content for what I've learned while being at this event. So let's get into the show. Hey guys, I just appreciate how blessed I am to be able to come to events like this. I've been thinking back, 100 years ago when you're new in business or trying to do something, there wasn't anything around like this at all. And such an opportunity to come here, incredible speakers, people in my industry who've built incredible businesses with what they've been blessed with. And we use the ClickFunnels platform in our industry and what we do in our business. I keep saying industry, I don't know why, but anyway, it's been a good program and I've really enjoyed it. It's made our lives simple. It's just this incredible website building platform, and it's been super helpful for us. I know it could be helpful for you, but that's not what this video is about today. I want to talk to you about some of the things that we've learned here at this seminar about marketing, and it all has to do with you guys because you're trying to build your business, you're trying to be online, you're trying to, I don't hate to say sell your services, but you're trying to sell you and let people know more about who you are. So today I want to talk about the three things, keep it simple, three things that I learned while being here at ClickFunnels. Keep saying ClickFunnels too, it's Funnel Hacking Live, that's what this class is called. So the three things I learned, and they all are similar, but it's going to relate to you guys as a real estate agent. So number one is most people don't understand their audience and what their pains are. So you guys communicate with the homeowners, you speak to them, you help them understand what they're probably going through. And I would say that most homeowners don't quite understand what they're going through either. But let me just help you understand something really quick. If you can speak to your audience in the way that they're looking for help, so if you understand their pain, let me break this down a little bit more. If you work with the 50 to 65-year-old demographic, they probably have kids who moved out of their house recently, they have a lot more space than they probably need, so they're downsizing. If you work with the 20 to 35-year-olds, they're probably first-time home buyers. Their families are increasing, they're doing new things. So they're first-time home buyers moving from that condo to that townhouse or from that townhouse to that single-family house. If you're working with the 75 to 80-year-olds, they're trying to get out of a house completely without any type of maintenance and maybe, take their money and live on their assets for the next few years while they move into either a condo or more simplified living like an assisted home. So think about where your demographic is in that process and think about the pain that they're going through right now. What are their struggles with? And maybe it's not a pain like, this is poking me or stabbing me or injuring me, but more of the pain of what I'm going to have to go through these next few months as I work with you, the real estate agent, to sell my house. So am I moving across the country? Am I downsizing? Am I growing my family? Maybe I'm selling my house because I have a financial pain that I'm trying to solve. Maybe I'm trying to avoid foreclosure or have something else going on. What are the pains that you're trying to solve for your clients? And you'll understand how to speak to them. So number one is understanding their pain and what they're going through right now, because once you establish that, you'll be able to clearly communicate with them. So number two is how you communicate with your audience. So most of us find our audience on Facebook because it's easy to identify who the homeowner is. It's easy to identify the age, the sex, the interest, what they're doing, right? So Facebook is probably that place. Maybe you run Google Ads, maybe you create YouTube videos, maybe you have a podcast, maybe you have an email going out, maybe you pick up the phone, maybe you door knock, whatever it is, right? So understanding where you communicate with these people and how you communicate with them. I think the big thing is that most people just have one channel. They're good on the phone, they're good at door knocking, they're good at the Facebook ad, but you need to spread your communication around. You can't just communicate with them in one place, because let's say Facebook dries up tomorrow. It's probably not gonna happen, but let's just say Facebook disappears tomorrow and that's where all your audience is sitting. You've lost, you're on borrowed land. One of the big lessons that you learn here is take your audience out of that platform and disperse them in other places. So communicate with them in YouTube, communicate with them in email, communicate with them over the phone, text them, send them letters if you have to, but try to own as much of their information as you can, their physical information, their phone numbers, their email addresses, the way that you're going to communicate with them so that you can own this information and be able to respond to them accordingly. The problem again is if you're borrowing their information or you're waiting for traffic to come from these social media platforms, then you're going to have a hard time communicating with them as as the system changes. They called it the Google slap a while ago when the click-through rate changed. That's going to happen again with Facebook, or it might happen with Instagram or YouTube or things like that. So don't rely on the social media platform to be your specific communication guide, okay? So own the information. That's tip number 2. Tip number 3 is how often you communicate. Most of you guys, unfortunately, are communicating with your audience never, ever. It's amazing. So here's an interesting story. I started working with this client a little while ago, and we went through their database, and I was like, cool, you have 7,000 contacts in your database. A huge amount, which is way more than most people do, so don't expect you to have 7,000 people. So we went through their whole database. I had 7,000 people. I'm like, great, how many of these people are in the process of buying a house? We'll call them A buyers, meaning that they're going to purchase a house in the next 0 to 3 months. And they're like, well, we don't know. Okay, what about B clients, like 3 to 9 months out? I don't know. How about they're further out? I don't know. They didn't know anything about their clients. They just knew their name, their phone number, their mailing address, their email, their past clients that they'd worked with, got a Zillow lead from, an email address signed up, things like that, but they had never communicated with any of them. They had no correspondence. So I was like, okay. So we hired a VA. We got on the phone with this VA and we said, we want you to call the whole list. This is going to take a while, but call through the whole list, have a short conversation, ask them one question. Have you bought or sold a house in the last 6 months? Yes or no? That's all I need to know. Thank you for the time. Goodbye. Okay. 40% of that audience, 40% of the 7,000 people had purchased a house without this team knowing about it. Can you imagine how much business that was for these guys? Their average commission check was $15,000. How much lost money was that? Because they chose not to communicate with their audience, okay? They didn't pick up the phone. They didn't send them a postcard. They didn't send them a Christmas card. They didn't put social media ads in front of them. They didn't send them an email. They had the ability to do all this, but they didn't do any of it. They just kept bringing in more and more leads. The leads that you have are good enough. Work with them. There's more people in your CRM right now who are probably ready to buy a house than all the ones you're going to find in the whole next year. So consider working with the people that you already know. The point of this is that you need to drip on them. You need to email them on a regular basis. You need to communicate. There's some people who communicate with their audience maybe once a month, if that. They send them a newsletter. They'll, maybe send them a text. Maybe not even all of them, just a few people that they know that are in the process of doing something in real estate right now. But consider this, and you're not going to like the sound of this, but you need to communicate with your audience on a daily basis. Send them an email every single day. Again, we're trying to get these audiences out of Facebook and social media platforms. Get their email addresses and send them an email every single day. It doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't even have to be full of information. It's just a way of reminding them who you are, right? So maybe you say, I'm just coming up with stuff off the top of my head right now. Spring's on the rise, right? People are getting their taxes ready. They're preparing for school to come or get out here in the future. Talk about these kind of things. Like, what are you doing right now to prepare for your taxes? I know 3 tax preparers that would love to help you. Here's some information. Or what are you guys doing for ski week or spring break this year? Here's 3 places that I would go and I would visit. And hey, I structured a relationship with this hotel that if you mention my name, you get a discount. Whatever it is, right? Just give them information that's going to help them in their life, that's going to bring value to them, that's going to communicate with them so that they know that you're listening, that they know that they can trust you and that you've got their back. You're not just there for the sale. You're not saying, hey, have you thought about buying or selling a house in the next 60 days? Go to the value, bring the value, talk to their pain, talk to the things that they want to know about, and talk to them like you're their friend. Don't just straight into the sale. Go deeper. Find ways to communicate with them. This is a great way of wrapping this all up. Somebody said email rates are dead. Nobody opens emails anymore. The click-through rate's terrible. That's not true. If you communicate with your audience in a consistent manner, in a way that's friendly to them, you could have email open rates of 20 to 40% if you do it right. And obviously you got to clean up your emails and know what you're doing. But think about it this way. If your mom or dad or a significant other sends you an email, and you normally don't get emails from them, you pick up the phone and you call them, but they send you an email and just say, hey son, it's been a while. How are you? I'd love to talk to you. Send me an email back. Tell me what's going on in your life. You'd probably read through that whole entire email. Right? Like, you're not going to shut it away. You open the emails from the people that you know, like, and trust. So be that person. Be the person that they like, know, and trust, that they can have that relationship with you. Be their friend. Be their advocate in real estate. And they're going to come to you. They're going to give you referrals. They're going to reach out to you when they're ready. They're going to talk to you. It's a much more passive type of marketing than the aggressive, and I got to talk to everybody, and I got to find out if they're buying or selling in the next 60 days, but you'll get better results because they're your friend. And that you're their friend. So understand your audience's pain. Communicate with them about that pain and understand it so that you can give them direct messages. Don't blanket out your message and say, hey, I'm here to work with anybody that owns a house. That is not the right attitude. Number 2, take your audience from the platforms that you're borrowing space on and own that content. Own their email, own their number, own their name. You don't even know the names of the people that are watching your videos on Facebook. Take it, own it, put it in your CRM, and constantly, daily, send them information. And if email is not the only place, communicate with them other places. Text message, phone call, whatever it is. Communicate with them on a regular basis. Guys, I am so thankful for you being here every single week. I appreciate your time, your efforts in watching our content. I think we're already past 10 minutes on this one. I appreciate it. There's some devoted fans of our show, and I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy life every day to increase your knowledge, increase your understanding of what you can do in real estate to better your life, to sell more houses this year. Make 2019, if you're watching this in 2019, maybe it's 2030, I don't know, but take the time right now in your life to plan, to organize, and communicate with your audience on a regular basis. Appreciate you being here. We'll see you on the next show.